I just got back from watching Priscilla. Is it any good? Let's find out right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be reviewing Priscilla. Just came out in theaters wide. The first movie I've seen in November, the first new movie at least. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis right now just so you know what the movie's about. When teenage Priscilla meets Elvis Presley, the man who is already a rock and roll superstar becomes someone entirely unexpected in a private moments, a thrilling crush, an ally in loneliness, and a vulnerable best friend. So yeah, that's basically the whole plot of the movie. A lot of people probably already know this story because it is based off Priscilla's own book titled Elvis and Me. Before I get into my big thoughts on the movie, I do want to talk about A24 for a little bit this year. A24 has had some good movies to some pretty amazing movies this year because, you know, they had Beau Was Afraid, their really big budget movie of the year, which I thought was good, but Past Lives they've had, Talk to Me, which I thought were really amazing. Then they have this, then they have Dream Scenario coming out later this year. But, you know, A24 has been having a struggle this year with a lot of box office performances, except for Talk to Me. Talk to Me made a lot of money, but they did not make that film. They bought that film, but they're still going to get the profits. But A24, you know, they're not gaining profit on films like Beau Was Afraid, films like Past Lives. They're losing money on those films, so they're really having a tough time trying to get these awards films and, you know, smaller films to make money, because even though they only, you know, budget these films maybe like 10 to 15 million, they're still not making that money back because, you know, the marketing and the box office isn't strong. Because Past Lives and Beau Was Afraid did not make a lot. I think Beau Was Afraid lost over like $20 million. Pretty bad for the studio. They need to get into more, they're trying to get into more commercial slots, you know, trying to get more people to go see their films. I think more people should go see their films because they do make some amazing films. They usually only have a couple hits a year, and their only big hit this year is Talk to Me, which is pretty upsetting because Past Lives deserve a lot of hype, and I think Priscilla deserves a lot of hype because this film is really something great to marvel at. And, you know, a lot of people are going to complain, you know, a Priscilla movie is so soon after Elvis because we just had Baz Luhrmann's take on Elvis just last year, and now we have a Priscilla movie, which I think is good to hear, you know, her side of the story, and you really know her, you know, Priscilla's life, because a lot of people don't really have a lot of knowledge of her life, including me. You know, I didn't read her book. Sorry if you get offended by that, but I didn't have a lot of knowledge over her life. But I don't think it's too soon. I really like to hear this story and watch this story. So hopefully a lot of people go see this movie and Dream Scenario because those look awesome. I think they both release this month because this one, of course, comes out this month. I think Dream Scenario does release this month because, you know, A24 has got to get some money going, got to get some profits. This one is fairly commercial. Some of their movies aren't commercial, like Beau Was Afraid. I think Priscilla is going to be commercial. I think it's going to be a crowd pleaser, even though it's not really like an upbeat film. There's a lot of great moments here, and I think it's a really great film overall. The direction is outstanding in this film. I was just blown away by the direction. Sofia Coppola is behind this film. She's directing it. Some of her other films are Marie Antoinette and Lost in Translation, which I just did watch Lost in Translation for the first time just a couple days ago. I do got to report that, sadly, I just think it's all right. I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie. I know a lot of people love that movie. A lot of people love the style. I did love the style a lot. I just didn't care for the story or characters or how it was told. But here, I really did love how this story was told, even though we're all familiar with, you know, the real people, Elvis and Priscilla. So we all really know that whole story, but I really loved the direction and how Sofia Coppola really took this story and elevated it in a pretty interesting way. You know, I really did like her direction here. I really want to get into her other films because, as I said, I've only seen Lost in Translation, so I hope a lot of people go see this one. And, you know, this one has had some controversy a little bit because the Elvis estate has said they didn't have any Elvis music in this movie. They didn't allow it at all. You know, I feel like I was trying to see before I went in if this would make a difference. And, you know, yes, I feel like this did make a pretty large difference because there are some moments in the film where you're like, oh, an Elvis song will start to play. Like, if you didn't know this movie wouldn't have Elvis music, you would probably go in and, you know, some moments there would be, oh yeah, this is where an Elvis song would play. You know, we're going to have a moment here. But, you know, they're not allowing it, so it's not going to happen. But I feel like it would be really cool and really interesting if they did allow it to happen. It's kind of disappointing because I feel like a lot of moments here in Elvis song would play and it would be a really good moment for the film. But I think the song choices that they had to make and did make were pretty good for the film. It's kind of instrumental songs that they use, which I did like a lot. So let's get to our main cast here. Kaylee Spaney plays Priscilla. Hopefully I'm getting that name right. And she is the true standout of the film because she is the main lead of this film. This is her film. It's a film about Priscilla. And it's probably one of my favorite performances of the year. I would say, I still have like someone like Lily Gladstone, Sandra Hüller, and I do have those over her. But, I feel like this one would easily fit in that top 5 spot for like top performances for an actress this year that I've seen so far, because I really liked her portrayal of Priscilla. I thought she did a great job, especially in those younger moments. She felt really vulnerable in some scenes, very mature, just like how Elvis describes her. And she's probably not going to get nominated for an Oscar. I think she did win an award at some film festival for Best Actress, so good for her on that. But as I said, she probably won't get nominated for the Best Actress Oscar for this one, which is kind of disappointing. But I would be happy if she did. Like, if it comes out as a surprise nomination, I would be very happy if she got nominated because I really enjoyed her here. And I'm very excited for her in the new Alien movie. I just learned that she's going to be in the new Alien movie coming out next year. So I'm really looking forward to her in that. And Jacob Elordi plays Elvis Presley this time. Austin Butler played him in Elvis, and Jacob Elordi is now playing him. I'm not going to compare the two because I feel like that's a little unfair, but I think they both did a great job. I don't really have any complaints about either of them. I would say maybe Jacob Elordi didn't look too much like Elvis. I think Austin Butler looked a little bit more like Elvis, but that's got to do with like the makeup department and stuff. But I think Jacob Elordi did a great job with this role. I think he did a great job with the voice and did a great job with like, the anger moments that Elvis has, because he did get pretty angry a lot of times. He does have a little bit of anger issues like we see in this film. And, he changes his mind a lot. We've seen this film. But I will say I want to dig a little bit deeper in this film. I'm not going to go into too many details, but I will say the first 45 minutes to an hour is really perfect for me. I just love the feel of the film, and I love the style that they're going for. The second half is still really good, really great, but not as good as the first half of the film, because the second half is more of the story that we've already known, more of the story that we already got told in the Elvis movie from last year. The first half was a lot of new stuff for me that I haven't learned about Priscilla's life, so I really liked how that was taken. And this movie showed how, everything had to be done the way that Elvis liked it, and Priscilla had basically no control in this relationship, I would say. If she stepped out of line or basically disagreed with Elvis, he would just throw a tantrum and really just say, oh, you got to go back home now. I don't want you here anymore. I love Elvis a lot, but I do feel like he misstepped in this relationship many times, but I'm not trying to, breach into this relationship too much because I don't even know all the details. I just know the movie. But Elvis's music a lot, I really do love Elvis and his music, but we all got to say that he did have problems in his life, especially with medication and anger, and that's even shown in this film a decent bit. And there's a lot of controversy around this relationship and how it's told and basically how they met, because Elvis started basically seeing Priscilla when she was 14, which that's really bad because he's a minor at that age. So it's pretty weird to think about that. And it happened in the 60s, so maybe it's not as weird for it to happen in the 60s, but if that happened now, oh, that would be so bad, so bizarre, but it's basically still weird if it happened in the 60s because she's 14. That's not great. I mean, they did love each other. You see in this film, they really had a real connection. He loved her, she loved him. And they didn't have any weird stuff happen pretty early on, they would say. But, Elvis loved her because she was pretty mature. I did love seeing Priscilla's home life and her at school. That's why I loved the first hour so much, because her home life and her at school was pretty interesting. I love the opening of the film, too. I liked it a lot. Love what, I love what Sofia Coppola is doing here. And it's weird how, Elvis changed Priscilla, because you have that moment in the trailer and the moment in the film where Elvis tells Priscilla, I want you with darker hair, like really dark hair and a lot of dark eye makeup. And I thought that was just really funny to me because I thought she looked way more beautiful, in the beginning of the film without all that dark hair and dark eye makeup. I think Elvis just wanted that because that's what he looked like. But I thought she looked so much better before all that dark eye makeup and dark hair. I thought she looked really good in the beginning of the relationship. But when they changed her up when Elvis had to change her up just so he could like her his own way. I thought she didn't look as good. You know, I liked Priscilla as herself. I thought that was Priscilla at her best. And as I said, the overall style of the film is really great. I love the whole style that they were going for. It's, you know, warm in moments, it's cool in other moments, and I just love the costume design. Production design is off the charts, but I love the costumes in here. Not sure if I can get nominated for costume design at the Oscars. I'm not even sure if I can get nominated for Best Picture. I'll have to look at my predictions, but the costumes are really strong. Some of the best of the year, I'd say. And I will say the movie flew by. It's an hour and 50 minutes, and the ending came up, and I was like, oh, that's the ending already? Because it's a fast-paced movie, I'd say. I wasn't expecting ending to be that soon, but I wasn't really complaining. It's a fast-paced movie. If it feels fast-paced and I like it that way, then I think it's cool. It's a good decision by them. So overall, Priscilla really surprised me a lot. I think it's entering like my top 20, top 15 of the year. It's really great. If you have a chance to go see this, I really think you'll like it. I think a lot of people will like this. I love the story that Sofia Coppola decided to tell for this one. And, you know, I think that these performances are just great. Kaylee Spaney, Jacob Elordi, I love their chemistry on set. There's a lot of great moments to enjoy here. The style of the film, like I said, it's really great. I love the lighting, costume design. I really did enjoy this one a lot. Michael rewatched this one in theaters. It was just a really cool movie to go watch in the theaters. I liked it a lot. So overall, Priscilla, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Easily some of the best of the year. November is starting strong for me. We'll see if that lasts, because November we have a lot of movies to go over. But if you did see Priscilla, leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.